For decades, the rules were simple. Get a degree, find a stable job, skip daily coffee, and save cash. By 30, you buy a home with a yard. Fast forward to today, and that sounds like a joke. Young adults work longer hours than ever, yet life milestones remain completely out of reach. Instead of saving, they embrace doom spending. Buying luxury items today, instead of saving for an uncertain tomorrow. It is easy for older generations to look at this and call youth reckless. They point to $5 coffees and trip reservations as the core problem. But look closer at the numbers. A very different picture emerges. The gap between average wages and basic living costs has become an ocean. It is not that young adults do not understand math. They understand it all too well and know the old system no longer works. Let's look at the brutal math of real estate. 30 years ago, an average house cost 4 times an annual income. Today, in major cities, that ratio exploded to 15 or 20. If you earn $50,000 a year, a starter home costs $700,000. To save 20% for a deposit while paying high rent is mathematically impossible for a single earner. Imagine saving every single penny for 12 long years. You sacrifice vacations, eating out, and simple pleasures. By the time you reach your goal, property prices have doubled again. Your savings covered the original price, but you are back at square one. The human brain recognizes when a contest is unwinnable. When goalposts move constantly, walking away becomes a logical choice. When major financial milestones become impossible, behavior shifts. Psychologists call this financial nihilism or doom spending. If you can never afford a house, why keep money sitting in a bank? Why deny yourself a short flight or a nice dinner this weekend? Converting cash into immediate experiences gives a sense of control. It is a coping mechanism for an unpredictable future. There is another silent factor driving this behavior: inflation. Official numbers claim inflation is just a few percent. But anyone paying for groceries, utilities, or rent knows the real price of living. Holding cash in a basic bank account means watching your money lose power every month. When holding cash feels like holding melting ice, spending it now feels much smarter. Look around any modern city apartment today. Almost everyone has a flat-screen television and a powerful smartphone. Technology became cheap over the last 2 decades. This creates a strange illusion of abundance that misleads observers. We easily afford gadgets that entertain us for hours, yet we cannot afford fundamental assets, like real estate, that build real stability. It is not just large price tags hurting consumers. It is the subscription economy. Decades ago, when you bought something, you owned it permanently. Today, you rent your music, movies, software, and car features. Modern strategies converted permanent ownership into endless monthly fees. When your paycheck is drained by microtransactions, saving capital feels impossible. We cannot ignore the impact of digital connectivity. Decades ago, people compared themselves to physical neighbors down the street. Today, every young person compares their bank account to the top 1% on social media. Feeds are flooded with 20-year-olds renting private jets and luxury brands. This creates immense pressure to consume status symbols right now. The social contract between employers and workers is completely broken. In the past, staying 30 years guaranteed a pension and job security. Today, layoffs happen via mass emails, and gig platforms offer zero safety nets. When workers can be replaced overnight, they stop planning decades in advance. Short-term work creates a short-term mindset, living month to month. For millions, the financial trap begins long before their first job. Young adults were told a degree was the golden ticket to high salaries. Instead, millions graduated with massive student loans before earning $1. Starting adult life tens of thousands in debt. sets your financial clock back a decade. By the time loans clear, the window for early investing has passed. While consumer goods like clothing got cheaper, essential costs went through the roof. Healthcare, insurance, transportation, and quality food surged in price. These are not optional expenses. They are baseline costs required to function. When 60% of income goes strictly to basic survival, saving is a fantasy. The margin for error in a budget has shrunk to zero because traditional paths to wealth are closed. Youth turned to high-risk options. We saw an explosion in meme coins, day trading, and sports gambling. When traditional savings yield almost nothing, high-risk gambling looks like the only exit. It is not that youth hate investing. Slow investing feels too slow to catch up. They prefer wild swings over slow, guaranteed failure. This economic reality reshaped how a generation views adulthood. Marriage rates are dropping, and couples delay having children, or opt out entirely. It is not a lack of values. It is a cold financial calculation regarding childcare costs. When raising a child costs hundreds of thousands, people delay traditional adulthood. Living for oneself becomes the default setting. We are witnessing a massive wealth divide. Those with family assets and those without. Przyjemność. In today's market, the primary way young adults buy homes is through family help. Those with wealthy parents receive down payment gifts, while others are locked out permanently. This creates deep social frustration and powerlessness. Hard work alone no longer guarantees upward mobility. Many thought side hustles and gig work would solve stagnant wages. While food delivery and freelancing offer flexibility, they lack benefits, paid leave, and stability. Working 80 hours a week across 3 apps is not financial freedom. It is survival mode. Burnout becomes inevitable. And burnt-out individuals rarely have the mental capacity to build wealth. However, there is another perspective that is not purely negative. Many young adults consciously reject sacrificing their best health years for retirement. They saw parents work 40 years, only to face crashes or health issues right at pension age. The philosophy inverted. Experience the world while your body is young and healthy. Deferred gratification makes sense only if the future is certain. So, what does financial success look like in this new era? It is no longer about hoarding paper currency in a low-interest bank account. The new playbook prioritizes adaptability, high-value skills, and digital leverage. People focus on building remote income, learning modern tech, and staying geographically mobile. Real security comes from what you create and learn. We need to stop judging modern choices through the lens of the 1980s. The economic rules of the world changed, and younger generations simply adapted first. Doom spending is not a flaw in character. It is a response to a broken framework. Recognizing this reality is the very first step toward building strategies that work today. The old path is blocked, but new routes are open. The concept of saving is not dead, but the traditional roadmap is obsolete. The winners in this new economy are not those pinching pennies for 40 years. They are the ones investing in growth, multiple streams of income, and flexibility. Where do you stand in this economic shift? Are you still saving for a home, or have you embraced the new reality? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more breakdowns.